Hey there. Welcome to WGK Public Safety Images. Today I'm going to do an all-about video that is all about the Charlotte, North Carolina Fire Department's new hazmat support engines that they are placing in service. So, without any further ado, let's talk about Charlotte's hazmat engines.
Battalion 2, engines, 35, 40, 34, and 27, ladder 40, and safety 1, house fire, 3312 Ashley Drive, on station Charlotte.
Hey, and welcome to this all-about video. I'm a public safety fire photographer in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and just wanted to let you know that in addition to these videos, I also do some Q&A or tutorial type videos for folks who are interested in learning more about photography and specifically fire photography. So if you don't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. But on to the video. So for this all-about video, I wanted to talk about the Charlotte Fire Department and their new hazmat support engines that they have been putting into service. For the past 20 years, the Charlotte Fire Department has been pretty consistent in their apparatus acquisition process. Since 2003, they have been purchasing Smeel-built engines and ladders, all on Spartan chassis. There has been very little variation over the years, with all of their ladders being equipped with 2,000 GPM pumps and typically 105-foot rear mount aerials. The engines have also been pretty consistent, and since 2005, they have all had 2,000 GPM pumps. There was a couple of years where the tank size varied depending upon the location of the company. So companies located closer to uptown in more city areas had 500-gallon tanks, while some of the engine companies located farther out into the county had 750-gallon tanks. However, that's really changed too, and for the last 15 years, all of Charlotte's engines and all of Charlotte's ladders have been identical. There's certainly some good reasons for doing this. Consistency of your fleet makes it easier on personnel, moving from company to company or working overtime or using reserve equipment. But in the last couple of years, we have seen Charlotte start to build some variation into their fleet. Most notably, in the last 2 or 3 years, they have started adding mid-mount platforms to their ladder fleets, in addition to the rear mount straight sticks that they've been using. And they even have a couple of tillers on order. The first change we've seen in their engine companies in a while has been the addition of what Smeel refers to as a hazmat support engine. Let me digress for a moment with just a little bit of history. In the 1980s, the Charlotte Fire Department began their first hazmat company and created a hazmat team that operated out of Station 13. Hazmat apparatus out of this station were cross-manned by the engine and then later the ladder company assigned to 13. Over the years, as hazardous material mitigation became a larger and larger component of the department's operations, the department expanded its hazmat operations. In the late 90s, the hazmat team out of Station 13 actually operated 2 hazmat trucks, Hazmat 1 and Hazmat 2, as needed. In the 2000s, the department opened Station 32 and 33, and 32 got one of North Carolina's regional response hazmat teams, and the crews of Station 32 cross-manned that truck. The department also moved its decon unit out to Station 33, where those crews also cross-manned a decon apparatus. Finally, in 2020, Decon 1 was moved to Station 34, and that station became another hazmat station for the department. With these three stations, 13, 32, and 34, all of the crews were required to be certified hazmat techs and handled the growing number of hazmat incidences that were handled by the department. So in 2021, when Engine 34 was scheduled to get its new engine, the department parted from its traditional design and had SMEO build a slightly larger engine that allowed the engine company to carry additional amount of hazmat tools on the engine. With this, the engines could now handle some smaller hazmat incidents without having to respond with their full-size hazmat truck. They could respond with their regular engine company and had equipment on board to handle things like cut gas lines and other commonly occurring incidents. Since then, the engine companies at 32 and 13 also received these hazmat support engines. At Station 13, this meant the hazmat company could eliminate their smaller hazmat 2, and then utilize either hazmat 13, their full-size hazmat apparatus for major incidents, or the crews could respond in Engine 13 for minor incidents. Sometimes Charlotte refers to this as a light hazmat assignment versus a heavy hazmat assignment. Station 32 had their engine replaced in 2019, and they had started to use that engine as a hazmat support engine and equipped it with additional hazmat tools. In 2023, that company got one of the new purposely designed and built hazmat support engines, and the old Engine 32 is now in service as a reserve hazmat engine, so that if any of the regular hazmat engines are out of service for maintenance or repair, they can operate this reserve and still have their hazmat equipment on their engine so they can handle the light hazmat calls. The hazmat support engines are identifiable by the extra storage compartment space located at the rear of the cab. And it is my understanding they actually used a SMEO design for clean cab engines and then just transitioned it over so that space could be dedicated to carrying hazmat equipment. Otherwise, the engines remain the same as all the other engine companies in Charlotte. So there you go. That's a quick video all about the Charlotte Fire Department and their new hazmat engines. As always, I would ask that if you like this video to please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. In addition to these types of all about videos, I also do some videos that are about improving your photography and taking pictures at fire scenes. And so if you think that might be of interest to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Otherwise, we'll just see you again in the next video. Thanks.